rotation. So likely tornado on the ground. This is in the Sango neighborhood east of Clarksville. So if you are near I-24, Sango School Road is one of those roads right there. That is likely a tornado on the ground. There's the most recent scan. It's still showing that
yeah,
drop.
bumped up and it's still doing it. Yep. No, Alex is right. Alex is right. This is serious now in this area. Alex found the debris. So there's debris here. Let's go into this. Let's go into streets here. Shelbs, if you can find some landmarks too for this too, let's get into it. I'm going to follow the debris and I'm going to tell you exactly where this is. So we are up in Montgomery County now. We are up in Montgomery County near Rawson Road, Trough Springs Road. We're actually right over, the debris is being lofted near Drake Road. This just went over Interstate 24, so someone's going to hear about this. It's 5:31 at night. Folks, I know folks are driving right now. This is a dangerous situation. There is where that debris would be, right over Drake Road. This is in Montgomery County now, near the Sango area, like he said. There's Gun Road. There's Old Clark Springfield Road. That's 31A right there that it's going to be going over. It's going to also be near, and I'm just going to take it out into time because it was going, and if I kind of put it back in motion, you'll see it kind of pops up, right? It pops up there, and that does line up with the rotation and also the bulge in the radar. If you look at the rotation here, this is what we look for, the greens and reds right in here. So that is what we're watching for, and we are going to be tracking, and we're going to be going towards, again, Adams, Barron's Plains. Just so you guys know, you need to take your tornado precautions. Stroudville, you've got 2 minutes to get down to the lowest level center of a room. Do it now. We found debris on the debris tracker. Alex found debris on the debris tracker, so we need to take the tornado precautions. Adams, 541, Cedar Hill, 544, Kinney's, 547, Springfield, 549, Barron Plains, 551, Youngville, 527, and Lamont, 603. And we've got some points of interest. So go ahead, Shelby, you want to jump in and do some points of interest real quick for this one?
Yeah, Danielle. So this is going to be getting closer to Joe's Bar, running parallel to Highway 76. You're getting closer to Old Grants Chapel Methodist Church, the Ruby Cora. That's where I did a tiny town before. So this is getting closer to, again, Highway 76, getting close to Old Clarksville Springs Road, getting closer to Ford Road. It's getting to a place where there's less landmarks, but it's also going to continue to get closer to Port Royal. So this includes the Port Royal Cemetery and Port Royal United Methodist Church. This is a very serious situation. You need to be down in your safe place. If you're in Port Royal, this is going to be getting closer to Benevolent Lodge Cemetery as well, getting closer to Port Royal Road. It's also going to get closer to Port Royal State Historic Park. So there's a lot of different venues over in Port Royal. You need to be down in your safe place. And this is also getting closer to Run Amok Outfitters and Port Royal at the Trail of Tears trailhead as well, Danielle.
Okay, and I will say on the latest scan, looks a little weaker, but still could be there. I mean, when it went through the Sango area, there was debris on the tracker. That was just a couple minutes ago. This was at 5:29, so 4 minutes ago. You still see, though, there's still a little bit up there, so this could still be on the ground. And the National Weather Service did confirm they saw that, too. This, again, is right now where the possible tornado on the ground, which we probably was on the ground at least, or it may still be on it, is now on the east side of Interstate 24. This is Montgomery County. There's 76. There's 31A. This is the area of where there possibly is some debris. That is going to be going up. Now it looks like it may have just disappeared. So it may have just pulled back a little bit. All right, we're going to watch. I'm going to look at that real quick. But again, this is going towards, it still's got rotation on it right in here. It's still going towards Adams, Cedar Hill, Barron Plains. It's a tornado warning. We've got the Todd County one, but the one down here is for Montgomery and Robertson until 6 o'clock. It's for this line of storms you see right here. We were watching the debris on it, and you'll see it kind of pops up and then pops back down. So it may not be on the ground anymore, but we're still going to have to watch this and track this seriously because this is a serious situation. Moving towards Cedar Hill, you're in for it next. Or Linda, too. I mean, this is going into Robertson County. So we've got this one here. This is going to be into Adams at 5:38. It's 5:35 now in the afternoon. You've got 3 minutes to take those tornado precautions. Lowest level, center of a room with no windows. Cedar Hill, 541. Kinney's, 545. Springfield, 547. You'll see it in Youngville at 555. Milldale, 559. Cross Plains, 603. And 609, it'll be in Hanleyton. So we're watching that one as well. We've got a lot of storms out there. Let's just put it that way. So we've got the tornado warnings up this way for Montgomery County and into Todd County. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings. And then we've got the tornado warning down on our southern stream of our storms, too. So, it's kind of like the whole line at this point is basically severe or tornado warned. You know, we've got some from Bowling Green back through Montgomery and Robertson. Also in Todd County, you've got the tornado warning. Then we've got some back as we pull away. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings that now are for Cheatham, Davidson, Robertson, and Sumner until 6:45. So that's the line. Then we got this one down here. And this one in particular is for Cannon, Davidson, Rutherford, Williamson, and Wilson. Ping pong ball size hail or graders in this one, by the way. And then we've got down here the Doppler radar indicated one over Chapel Hill. Now this is moving into Eagleville, so this would be moving into Rutherford County, this tornado warned storm. Now looking at the greens, there's definitely going to be some strong winds in this storm regardless if there's a tornado. That bright red is indicating some strong winds. There's definitely some hail with it, but you do see greens and reds near each other. Now I'm looking at the debris tracker just to see. Not seeing much on that one down there, but we are going to be tracking all of these, because all these storms are heading your way and heading your way quickly. So this one, if it continues, the Doppler radar indicated tornado warning down to the south would be in Longview in about 3 minutes. Decent 5:45, Christiana 5:50, Plainview 5:54. It'll be in Gosberg 6:02, Curly 6:09, Woodbury 6:17, and then Centertown. You would see this at about 6:25. Tornado warned storm, Doppler radar indicated, but watching it carefully because, like we just saw in Montgomery County, these storms can jump up, drop down, and quickly do destruction. Now, this one that was at one point tagged destructive now has wind gusts for 60 miles an hour and also some bigger hail for Cannon, Davidson, Rutherford, Williamson, and Wilson counties. That's over Walter Hill, Las Casas area, going towards Auburntown. But unfortunately, guys, as this continues east, guess where it's going? It's going over to the higher elevations. And on the higher elevations, they haven't had storms just yet. So all this activity you see right here moving through Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, and all these storms are severe thunderstorm warned or tornado warned. We have the tornado warning up in Montgomery County, tornado warning down over in Rutherford County and into Todd County. Everything else is severe thunderstorm warned, and all this activity has to shift east. And in this area, it's rebounded too. It's warm, it's unstable. So that means these storms will continue to strengthen and hold together as they move across our area. So what we're saying is, do not let your guard down this evening, especially because the sun's going to be setting soon and then it's going to be nighttime and you won't be able to see the storms. But even when these storms come over you, they have such heavy rain with them that you're not going to see the possible tornado if it is happening. And one thing I just want to see, they flashed this real quick, and then I'm going to send it over to Shelby because she's got a tour she's going to do. This one is now, okay, so good news is for the Robertson County one that was over in Montgomery County, they have dropped it down to Doppler radar indicated. So remember how we saw Alex mentioned that debris, and that debris popped up on the debris tracker. So there was probably a tornado that dropped down around Sango, and then it kind of popped back up. Now it's still Doppler radar. It's still in effect. You still got to take your tornado precautions in Barren Plains, Adams, Springfield, and Orlinda and Cross Plains, but it's Doppler radar indicated, so that's some good news. At least it's still not on the ground. Okay, Shelby, you've got a tour you want to do for us real quick?
Yeah, Danielle, so just a quick look at Antioch right now. I mean, there is still such heavy rain making its way over I-24. People are still trying to get home. There is such slow traffic there as well. Visibility is a little bit better than it was earlier, but still not a good idea to head home from work if you're still trying to wait this out. Otherwise, as we look across the rest of the mid-state, Danielle just showed you this larger picture, but you can see that we still have 2 active tornado warnings, lots of lightning, and quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings on the leading edge of this system. So as I turn the lightning off, you can kind of see these outlines a little bit better. We have this one tornado warning that's going to be making its way south of Murfreesboro through Rutherford County. And then we also have this other tornado warning. This one is going to be up closer to Clarksville near the Tennessee and Kentucky line. It is now making its exit out of Clarksville, as you can see with that last scan of the radar. Now, we're still going to stay with this tornado warning for Bedford, Marshall, and Rutherford County until 6 p.m. You can see that it looks like this is starting to fall apart just a little bit, but we still have those greens and reds touching, meaning that there is still some rotation. This is going to continue to get closer to Christiana in the next 2 minutes. You need to be in your safe place if you're in Christiana. Plainview by 5:46, Beech Grove by 5:53, Hollow Springs by 6:03, Ivy Bluff by 6:09, Wildwood Mill by 6:12, Centertown by 6:18, Bethany by 6:23, and McMinnville by 6:28. So that's in the next 50 minutes. Now, again, as we take that broader look, we're going to zoom back down into our second tornado warning. This is the one that we did see a little bit of debris over closer to Clarksville. This is in Robertson County now, and this is still making its way closer to Barren Plains, near Orlinda, and into Springfield. Now, we're not seeing as much rotation now, but again, don't let your guard down. We're still seeing these straight line winds, and so it looks like this is going to continue to make its way closer to Cross Plains by 6:02, 6:07 into Handleyton, closer to Rubensville by 6:10, and we also just got a new severe thunderstorm warning as well. Now, here is a look at that camera that we saw earlier where we did potentially see that tornado making its way across Clarksville. It does look like there are still some raindrops there, but now you are kind of out of the woods with that tornado warning. Notice though the trees are still waving because there is still those strong winds making their way across Middle Tennessee. Again, our active tornado warnings are going to last until at least 6 p.m. But like Danielle said, as these storms continue to move eastward, they're going into an atmosphere that's still untapped. There's a lot of heat there, and that's going to lead to some spin still possible, Danielle.
All right, and thank you so much, Shelby. We appreciate you, and we're going to keep going. Shelby's had a very long day, by the way. She was here this morning. She'll be back tomorrow morning, so we appreciate you staying with us. Alex Libby's also with me, and we are watching Davis Nolan. Of his course is in the storm tracker too. Hopefully somewhere safe, because I know he's been tracking all these storms. Now, we want to reiterate what's going on around the area. First of all, tons of severe thunderstorm warnings, right? But we also have tornado warnings that are going on that we're staying with this because of it. We've got the tornado warning, and I don't want to forget about my friends in Allen County, but this is now, as they push over to Logan County, it's going to continue as a tornado possible tag severe thunderstorm warning. So we're watching that one. Now, we do have a tornado warning for Robertson County. This is going to be in effect until 6 p.m., and this is Doppler radar indicated. Now, at one point when it was over in Montgomery County, we did have a confirmed tornado near the Fredonia area. So we'll try to effort to get some pictures or videos or damage of anything like that, because we did see that in the National Weather Service chat room. But again, still Doppler radar indicated tornado warning in effect for Barren Plains and also Springfield and Cross Plains. You can see now the rotation definitely, like Shelby mentioned, was weakening. But still, that's going to have some strong winds with it around the Cedar Hill area, Barren Plains, going towards Springfield. And then I will show you this, that we've got this in effect until 6 o'clock. Now, let's go down a little bit further, because as we pull out here, we still got severe thunderstorm warnings for the southern stream of these storms moving towards Goodlettsville, moving towards St. Millersville. This is for Cheatham, Davidson, Montgomery, Robertson, and Sumner counties, okay? So we've got these in effect, and that I think is at least till 6, maybe 6:30, because it's a bigger path length. But this storm is still going to be fierce with wind gusts to 60. They're going to be noisy. We're seeing lightning on cameras, too. This is heading towards Crunk at 547, Springfield 550, Greenbrier at 553, Goodlettsville 558, Hendersonville 605, Portland 618, Trousdale 622, and then Castilian Springs 629. So we've got that storm too. And yes, we're going to go there in just 1 second, because I want to go right down here one more time to the tornado warning storm down over in Christiana. This is for Bedford and Rutherford County. Now, really, this is moving into Rutherford County now. Looking at the greens and reds, again, hard to see where the possible rotation would be on this storm. I mean, it looks like it would be down here, but if you look at the actual radar, well, actually, that could be something. So right in here is where that possible rotation would be over towards Christiana. Now, let me look at the debris tracker real quick just to see. Hard to tell. We definitely have hail. A lot of hail with this storm, that's for sure, over in Unionville. So, okay, we've got the Murfreesboro cam. You want to show that real quick of this storm? Oh, yeah, look at that. That's the actual storm. I mean, that's the storm a little bit north of it, but still, it's right by the tornado warning storm. So remember, if there is a tornado warning that's going to drop off out of this area, you are not going to see that storm for sure, because it would be Doppler radar, it would be rain wrapped, so you wouldn't be able to see that. So again, watching these storms for sure. As you can see, it's not going to be able to see that. And then I just want to put a quick storm track on this tornado warning storm, if we can go really back further to Murfreesboro real fast, because again, this is going to be going towards Long Meadow at 545. My friends in Midland, you'll see this at 545. So again, 1 minute, it's on top of you. You need to take your tornado precautions. It's still tornado warning. Lowest level, center of a room with no windows, bathroom, basement, closet, interior wallway, do it now. Christiana, 552, Gum, 558, Curly, 611, Hollow Springs, 612, and then we'd see in Sheboygan at about 618. Now, these storms earlier today did some damage, and for more on that, we want to go over to Alex Libby. Alex Libby, you have more about the storms and the hail that we saw earlier today?
Yeah, Danielle, a lot of hail, especially from that storm that went through Williamson County, northern Murray County. Franklin, a ton of reports in Franklin. This is from Robin. You know, this is large hail, larger than a quarter, which means it can cause some damage. Not safe to be outside, obviously. So people hopefully going inside during these storms. Another picture in Franklin from Mason. Now this is another huge hailstone. This one's really dense, and those ones can obviously cause a lot of damage. And then look at these ones also in Franklin from Anthony. Now I think this is a piece of chalk comparing it to that. So very large hail down in Williamson County. And then earlier today in Marshall County, this storm ended up not being under a warning, but there was some very strong rotation. I think it's the next video. There's the live camera. Here we go. One more video. There's the video from Marshall County. Now this is that funnel cloud, and we've been keeping a very close eye to see if we could see any debris being picked up, but there are a lot of reports of damage in Marshall County. This is from our 1:10 in the afternoon. So all day long, since about noon, we've had these storms that have been capable of producing damaging hail, large hail, tornadoes, and even some damaging wind gusts. So these storms are not messing around, and hopefully they can get out of here as quick as possible, because it's been a very long day, Danielle.
Oh, it's been a long day, and we're going to continue to track these storms and keep you guys safe and informed. That's why we want you to stay with News 2. Make sure you have a way to get the warnings. The WKRN weather app, a great tool to have. Hopefully you've downloaded it. We told you today was going to be active. We weren't kidding around. We still have 2 tornado warnings in effect. The time right now is 5:47 in the evening, so a lot of folks are probably coming home from work or getting ready for dinner. Tell them not to go out on the roads right now. That is a dangerous situation to do, because this entire line that's moving through at any time could start to spin and rotate. So we've got, again, a tornado warning up for Robertson County. This is, again, for this area that at one point confirmed tornado was over in the Sango area, okay? So that's in Clarksville area. So we were watching that one as well. So we've got that storm there. And then as you go further south, I'll show you that we've got, you know, the severe thunderstorm warning down this way. This is going to be for Dixon, Hickman, Houston, Humphreys County, Montgomery County, wind gusts to 60. You can see it's a large, expansive storm there. And then we got the one over for Cheatham and even Davidson, Montgomery, Robertson County, wind gusts to 60, quarter-size hail. But then we got to go further south, right? Because as we go further south, we've got the one for Bedford and Rutherford County. And uh-oh, that's not good. Hail core's jumping up on this one. That means this one's pulsing and strengthening up. They've got hail, baseball-sized hail now again reporting. This is going to be a destructive storm going straight over Christiana and may clip Murfreesboro, the southern side. So heads up, hail core just jumped up high on this tornado warning storm. That means this storm is intensifying. Let me go look at the rotation too real quick on this one. We're going to be tracking that one for sure. Large hail for sure. Bright greens and reds. Yep, you can see rotation on it for sure. Down in this area near Christiana. Let me look at the debris tracker here. I can't see anything in terms of the debris, but if I am, you know, going to put a track on this storm, this is where it's going to be heading. The main event of this is going, I mean, straight into Cannon County, straight through Rutherford County, and then into Cannon County. So 5:48, 3 minutes from now, Fosterville, you're going to get baseball-size hail and also a potential tornado. There's rotation in it. Christiana, 5:52. So these folks, Fosterville, Christiana, you need to take your tornado precautions. Lowest level, center of a room with no windows. Do it anyway, because large hail is going to do a lot. And we just got a new tornado warning, which I'm guessing either maybe the extension of this or down to the south. Oh, it's down to the south. That's right. Okay, so just want to make sure you see this. Curly, 6:11. And then you would see this in Gum at about 5:58. So, okay, so we've got that tornado warning, and now they just issued this one. See, all these supercells are developing along this line. So that's the problem here. We're getting all these supercells to develop along the line. So now we have this one for Bedford, Cannon, Coffee, Grundy, and Warren counties. Again, this one is near Manchester. Doppler radar indicated hail, quarter size in nature, but you can see the green and red right in here. So what's happening is all these storms are starting to swirl a little bit. So this one is, oh, this is going to go over Interstate 24 too. This is not good. All right, so here we go. So this one's going over Interstate 24. This is going right over Manchester. So that's going to, it's straddling right now the Bedford Coffee County line, okay? Bedford Coffee County line. So now let me get into some street level here just so everybody knows. It's a tornado warning storm. Doppler radar indicates it's going to be in Bedford County near 16th Model Road, Waldron Ridge Road, Roberts Ridge Road, Rattlesnake Ridge Lane, Kathy Ridge Road, Oak Hill Road. It's going to be near in County Straight Creek Road, Knob Creek Road, Kellertown Road, Walker's Road, and it would go over Interstate 24. Now, I'm going to put a storm track on these. Both of these are tightening up a little bit more. So we've got this one, and then we got this one. This one's also tightening up right between Christiana and Bell Buckle. So we've got one rotate, and that one actually looks like it's tightening up near Woodbury now. So we're going to have to watch this cell too up here, even though that's technically not a tornado warning. We got one right down here, got one right down here. Here's the problem, it's going east, and this area is untapped. It hasn't had storms yet. So all these storms are going to continue to be strong, if not intensify more, as they move over very warm, unstable air. So again, we've got two cells that we're watching. I'm going to look at the debris tracker just real quick, make sure I'm not seeing anything on debris tracker here. That looks interesting here. Let me look at this real quick. That could be, well, now it's hard to tell. That could be debris. That could be debris right here.
Yeah, that southern storm looked like it could. I was keeping a really close eye on that. There's two scans of it. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2 of the green.
Oh boy, that might be debris.
Yeah.
Okay, that might really actually be debris. Okay, that looks like it's on the ground. Okay, guys, this is this is going into Coffee County. This could be on the ground. This could be debris on the ground. Okay, so this is right by, just so you know, if you're in Bedford County, you need, and Coffee County right now, Cruz Hollow Road. Take your tornado precautions. 16th Mile Road, it's coming over you. This could be a tornado on the ground. Lambert Ridge Road, Panhandle Road, going to go over Interstate 24 towards French Brantley Road. Going to go over Noah Road, Farrah Hill Road, Matt's Hollow Road, Sheltontown Road, Kathy Ridge Road. If I'm saying your street name in Coffee County, you should be down in the basement, lowest level, center of a room with no windows. That looks like a debris. That looks like actual debris on the scan there. That looks like it jumped up and got bigger. It's ping pong ball size hail for sure in this one too. And this is again moving east at 35 miles an hour. So I'm just going to put a storm track on the debris. If the debris continues where it's going and the tornado continues on the ground, Noah, you've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, you need to take your tornado precautions. That could be a tornado on the ground throwing debris up right now. Boynton Valley, 5:57, 5 minutes. Strauss Mill, 5:59. If I'm saying your town name, you need to be in the lowest level, center of a room with no windows, and you need to do it now because that looks like there's debris being lofted in the air. We've been seeing these kind of form really quickly, and on that latest scan, it kind of brightened up right where the rotation is, and that's going right over Interstate 24. That's going to go on the north side of Manchester. It's north of Normandy. It's east of Bell Buckle and east of War Trace right now. So Summitville, you would see this at 6:08, Morrison 6:15, and Lawson Mills 6:22. So folks, you really need to take this one seriously because that debris looks really good on it, and where the greens and reds are lining up is where the debris is. And if we look at the scans, it kind of jumped up quickly right around that same area, and there's no hail right around there. So that's why I'm really concerned that this could be actually on the ground near McBride's Ranch Road, Cheatham Springs Road, Wendell Cemetery Road, Lambert Road. This is in Bedford County. If anyone can give me some landmarks for this area. You got some, Alex? Go ahead, Alex. Say where people need to take cover.
Yeah, so you can see that part of where the debris is likely in the air is moving right over 24 right now. So that's near the intersection of Interstate 24 and Highway 41. There's Busy Corner Truck Stop and Market. There's Whisper Oaks Campground, Madeline's Antique and Uniques, Dollar General right there on Highway 41. We're going to move a little bit further to the east because that storm could be even past I-24 already. There's Fair Hill Farms, Powell Lumber, Pathway Gymnastics, Boynton Valley Baptist Church, Valley Tree Service, Anderson's Transmission and Auto. Then there's Fredonia Road. That's near the Muddy Branch River or creek there. There's Eddie's Retreat. If you go further east, there's Alfred Sun Trucking and Agriculture, Jeff's Automotive. This is on Woodbury Highway. So if you're recognizing any of these businesses, Trucker Cemetery, that's on Maple Springs Road. There's Handmade by Betsy. It looks like some kind of shop there. That's on Smithville Road or in the intersection of Mud Creek Road. And then we're moving closer and closer to Morrison. So Morrison is in the next location that looks like the most dangerous part of the storm is heading towards there. There's also Amity as a community, Hollow Springs Community Church. There's Beech Grove Stables and Kennels. That's along Gosberg Road, which is Highway 64. There's Gosberg Community Church. I'm kind of doing a broad, large area, but this is a large debris ball showing up here on our radar, Danielle.
I know, and then as you look at the rotation too, Alex, I mean, I'm just looking at this right now. I was hinting at it because I just found out too. So, you know, this is what he's talking about right in here. We see those greens and reds. You see them really tighten up right there, just on the east side of Interstate 24. But then look at this one near Christiana. really tightening up too a little bit. And they're going to reissue that tornado warning and push it forward too. So just a heads up, folks, we're talking about tornado warnings continuing as we push east. But this one, really holding together and really tightening with those bright greens and bright reds. So this could be a pretty dangerous situation down that way. And I mean, look, it continues to hold there. So, I mean, if this is really, this could be something on the ground, which is, you know, just a scary thought to even think about right now. And there's that new tornado warning they're doing for the one up north. I knew that they were going to do that. I thought they were. They're putting that one up for, just so everybody knows, Cannon, Coffee, and Rutherford County. So Cannon, Coffee, Rutherford, Coffee. You've got a tornado warning now till 6:30 as well. So both of these storms on the southern stream here going into very unstable environments, lots of spin. So this one over Christiana, by the way, the hail core over Christiana is pretty large too. I was looking at that one too. So getting close to hen egg size hail. That's going over Interstate 24. So Christiana, you need to be down in the lowest level center of the room with no windows as well as this other one that we've been watching down to the south that is over now getting closer to, say, like Summitville area. This is for Bedford, Cannon, Coffee, Grundy, and Warren County. So we've got two different areas of concern, two different areas that we're watching and just looking at. Hard to tell with things. The greens and reds, though, around Christiana getting a little bit brighter, too. That bright green and bright red right in here near Interstate 24 worries me. Both these areas here of concern are areas we're going to track. So I'm going to real quick do a quick storm track on both of these, and then I'm going to send it over to Shelby for a second. But want everyone to be aware that if you are in this area in particular, like we were just talking about, Boyerton Valley, 556. You're going to see this in Forest Mills, 604. Summitville, 608. Viola, 618. And then you'd see this in McMinnville, 625. And then the other one, and I want to make sure you see this too really quickly, is we're going to show you the one over Christiana, because that's the new one that got pushed out too as well. That's going to be over Gum at 557 and Floriton 604, Curly 610, Woodbury 618, Bates Hill 628. It's now 557. Gum, you need to be in your lowest level center of a room with no windows. We need you to do it now. And we are watching two areas of concern. And Shelby, I know you've got more on these, so if you want to go ahead and take it from here, go ahead.
Yeah, Danielle, so I wanted to show a camera that is in South Murfreesboro. This is at I-24 and Elam Road, where it looks like even the semi-trucks have their hazards on because the rain is coming down so heavily here. Look, here's another semi-truck with his hazards on. Again, those flashing lights because the rain is really affecting visibility. Notice this traffic camera is up a little bit higher, so if you are driving through this, it is going to be causing some really hard ways to drive. Now, as we make our way a little bit farther south, I want to show you the two tornado warnings that we're watching to the south, and then the other that's a little farther north, closer to the Tennessee and Kentucky line, that is falling apart right now. So the two of the biggest concern, one is right over Christiana right now. Christiana, please be in your safe place. This is going to last until 6:30 for Cannon, Coffee, and Rutherford counties. It does look like there is some large hail associated with this. It is on top of I-24. This is the camera that I was just showing you with the best view south of Murfreesboro, where that heavy rain is coming down. Again, that's going to be close to I-24 and Elam Road. Then as we continue to see this other tornado warning, it's going to be closer to Manchester. But where the tornado warning is, that's going to be closer to Christiana, is getting closer to Gum right now, getting closer to Curly by 6:06. You only have 6 minutes to get to your safe place. Culpeper by 6:09, Woodbury by 6:14, Centertown by 6:21, Blue Hill by 6:25, Womack by 6:29, and then into Keltonburg by 6:39. Again, here's the other tornado warning that is so close to the one that we were just talking about. This one's also lasting until 6:30. For Bedford, Cannon, Coffee, Grundy, and Warren counties. Also seeing that chance for, oh my goodness. So this debris signature has gotten a lot larger. This is likely going to be a tornado on the ground just because that debris signature is really defined. This is over to the east of I-24, close to Bell Buckle, and then just north of Manchester. This is headed towards Summitville. So we're going to continue to watch where this tornado, again, it's really spinning. That debris is looking a little bit more distinct as well. And then we aren't seeing as much rotation with our velocity tracker with those greens and reds. But as we can see, again, there's just a little bit where we were seeing that debris as well. And this is going to be getting closer to Forest Mill right now. Summitville in the next 5 minutes. Bryan Mill by 6:09. Morrison by 6:12. Lawson Mill by 6:19. West Riverside by 6:23. Mount Leo by 6:25. And then Shells Ford by 6:28. Again, this is what it looks like across Middle Tennessee with just all of this lightning coming in. The 2 tornado warnings that we're going to continue to watch are going to be down a little farther south, crossing over I-24 right now between Murfreesboro and Manchester. And then the other one that was closer to the Tennessee and Kentucky line has expired. These are the 2 that we're going to continue to keep our eyes on, Danielle.
Yeah, and we've been watching these, Shelby, and thank you so much for that tour. And I mean, the thing is, we have to track all these storms. I mean, here's the good news. What I would say is most of the areas west are finally going to get a little bit of a break, I think. But areas east, you're just really getting into the thick of things now, okay? And want to make sure people are aware of this real fast before I continue to track these. We've got some damage reported in the Blackman area and Murfreesboro from those storms, which I'll show you in just a second. Want to also show you the tornado watch because you notice they're starting to take some counties west out of it. Not any of ours just yet, but as we start to remove them, we'll let you know when it's safe for the night. So the big story is, and like we were saying, we've been watching 2 storms, you know, 2 cells in particular. We've got a lot of cells that are severe right now, right? But these ones out east are going into an area that has a lot of instability, a lot of humidity, lots of warm temperatures. Look at the hail core near Christiana here. So this hail core is really intense as it's pushing over Interstate 24 right now. So lots of hail with this tornado warned storm. There's hail with each one of them, but that one in particular has some very, very large hail. The greens, the reds we look for, the greens and winds going to and from the radar. Well, here's the green and red in both areas. Let's look at the debris signature. Now, the only thing is, now this debris signature kind of forming somewhere back away from the storm, so I don't know if that's a bad signal. So I kind of feel like the secondary storm near Summitville may not be doing anything just yet, but we'll have to see. But the first one here, I don't like the look of this one because it's starting to hook. So we've got a hook back here near just east of Christiana. Now I would say Christiana, you're safe, you're okay, you're good to go, but that's trying to do something there potentially. So we're going to have to watch that one too. Now these storms again, most of them are moving east. And they're moving about 35, 40 miles an hour. Well, this one's actually moving at 50 miles an hour. So some of these are picking up speed in some locations. So we're going to watch that too. And as they do, they're going to go fast. So you guys need to be prepared. Make sure you have a way to get those warnings. And when we tell you to go, it's time to go. This one is one you're going to need to get going on because it's got a good hook in the radar here. So I'm going to take it out into time. This is going at 50 miles an hour. So Floritown, you're going to see this at 6:03. Bradyville, 6:08. It's on top of you in Floritown. Bradyville, you've got 5 minutes to take your tornado precautions. Lowest level, center of a room, room with no windows. Curly, you'll see this at 6:09. Woodbury, Cannon County, 6:16. Blue Hill, 6:26. You'll see it in Dibble, 6:34. And then Keltonburg, 6:38 is when you will see it. That is one cell that we are, of course, watching. And then we have the other secondary cell that is further south. This is the one that is going towards McMinnville, towards that's going to be going towards Warren County and then Van Buren counties. It is Doppler radar indicated still, but again, going over an area that hasn't had a lot of stuff happen to it just yet. So we've got a couple of areas that we're watching within it. I would tell you right back here near the Summitville area is where that possible rotation would be. So as I put a storm tracker on that one for you, that's going to be moving east at about 45, 50 miles an hour. So Summitville, it's basically on top of you in 3 minutes, the rotation that is. Ivy Bluff, 6:07, Morrison, 6:12. McMinnville, you'll see this at 6:23. Faulkner Springs, 6:26. Curtistown, 6:33. And then Spencer, 6:45. If we are showing you your town names or talking about your street names and we are talking about tornado warnings, it means it's time to take action, getting down to the lowest level, center of a room, room with no windows. These storms have a history of either dropping tornadoes or dropping wall clouds or funnel clouds. We've seen it all today. And unfortunately, this atmosphere is juiced as it pushes farther east. My friends in White County and Van Buren counties need to be prepared because these storms are coming to you and packing a punch as they do. Big picture is, though, at least things are starting to quiet down towards, say, Stewart, Houston, and even Humphreys County. But this entire line right here is severe thunderstorm warned up to the north, too. So we've got, just so you guys can see this, A severe thunderstorm warning for Cheatham, Davidson, Montgomery, Robertson, Sumner County for wind gusts of 60. Quarter-size hail, so from Portland to Gallatin, Goodlettsville, you're getting hammered pretty good. Springfield probably lighting up for you a little bit. Pleasant View lightening up. Clarksville definitely lighting up. But Westmoreland and Lafayette, that's coming to you next. And you're going to get hit pretty hard with that one. Then we got this one down here for Cheatham, Dixon, Hickman, Perry, and Williamson counties. This is again for wind gusts to 60, quarter-size hail. Headed over Lobelville, you can see heavy rain over Centerville. They've already been hit once or twice. Wrigley and Fairview, lots of lightning, heavy downpours, and of course that hail. And then the reason we're sticking with weather, of course, is because of the tornado warnings that we have. And we do have, just so you know, above it, a severe thunderstorm warning, I forgot, for Cannon, DeKalb, Rutherford, and Wilson. And the threat tag on this is still considerable for wind gusts to 60, and that hail cores up to 1.75 inches in diameter. So, again, we have been watching these hail sizes because they've jumped up. At one point, we definitely had some baseball-size hail being reported in places, which is kind of wild to say the least. But we definitely are having at least ping-pong ball-size hail to golf ball-size hail being reported in this cell. And there was damage as this cell went over the Blackman area near Murfreesboro. They had some reports of some damage from this, so that's why they have the threat tag considerable. So even Smithville, Liberty area, you don't want to let your guard down. And this whole cell is then going to be pushing east. So Sparta would get clipped, Cookeville. This will have wind gusts of 60 and some large hail. Smithville 607, Young Bend 612, Silver Point 616. Baker's Crossroads 625, Sparta, you would see this at 630, Cookeville 632, and Mayland 649. So this is some areas, especially on the higher elevations, you have not seen much just yet. This is all coming to you now. You saw stuff in the morning, but haven't seen much this afternoon. So everybody is going to be seeing chances for more storms. And we just got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That's for Davidson. Okay, so that's back for that storm pushing in. That's for this entire line coming through the area. So we've got this one now. Just so everybody's aware, it's going to get noisy here in, it's going to get noisy here in Davidson, Rutherford, Sumner, Wilson, and Williamson County. We've got wind gusts of 60, quarter-size hail. Nashville's getting noisy storms. Bellevue, Fairview's getting hit hard. Get ready, Brentwood. Get ready, Franklin, Bellevue, Nashville. All of you are about to get hit with some very strong winds and also quarter-size hail. Now, I know we've got Davis, I believe, in the storm tracker. He's up in Clarksville, and he's actually tracking some damage. Oh, wow, you've got there, Davis. Tell us what you're seeing here.
Yeah, we've gotten to the Sango area. This is East Regent Drive, and we're trying to get to East Regent and Prince Drive, and you can see a large tree down here. And of course, we're just getting here, so we're just starting to see what we can find here in the Clarksville area. There's some power lines down from the corner of that house, as you can see, that tree brought down there. And again, we're in the Sango area. Now, some of this damage goes a little further, obviously, than what we're seeing, but we're seeing it live just as you are seeing it right now. And you can see that they're trying to clear this road right now. We're hoping they'll let us through once the road clears. Probably so. So it looks like there's mostly neighbors there trying to clean up the road and allow people to get through here. But let me see if I can pan around. I know you need to get back to these tornado warnings, and when I get more pictures here, I can show you more additional stuff. But once again, this is a large tree that's down right now on East Regent Drive on the corner of this lot that's taking down some power lines. So we're going to continue. Okay, so we're going to stick with me here. These people are trying to clean up the debris right now. We're also going to try to get over to Sango Road. We understand there's some damage there, but this is a tree that's down on East Regent Drive. Now, y'all were seeing the debris signature on Storm Tracker Radar Network earlier, and that's what basically you were seeing. You pretty much nailed it as far as the location here is concerned, and we were able to confirm that via telephone from some of the officials up here as well. See maybe a little bit of damage over on this side of the road as well. Most of it seems to be on the other side of the road right now. See a tree down over here. It looks like a little bit of damage there to some sort of siding from a house there I'm looking at. And again, you're seeing this live. We literally just drove up 30 seconds ago, and you're seeing it live just as we are. That came off of a house, it looks like, right there on the left side of East Regent Drive. And we'll pan down the street, and hopefully we'll be able to get through here and try to find some more damage. But again, this is what came through the Sango area of Clarksville. We'll take a closer look at some of these trees that are snapped, as you can see, across this area. So potential tornado came through this area. There was debris, as you guys were tracking on Storm Tracker Radar Network, and confirmed that that's pretty much where we're at right now. And hopefully we'll be able to take a drive through here shortly. We don't have anybody telling us that we can't. As far as the emergency folks are concerned, they're straight ahead of us, and these good folks here that are just neighbors look like they're the ones that have taken care of getting the tree out of the way. So that was nice of them. Good neighbors that are helping people out. So we're going to see what we find here on the other side of this tree, and we want to see if this emergency management person, we want to make sure that we're not violating any rules, and just ask them if it's okay if we come through here, and see what else we can find down the road. Apparently, looks like nobody's telling us we can't, so looks like we're going to go ahead. Let's see what we can find down the road here. Again, we're on East Regent Drive here in Clarksville, the Sango area, and we got a lot of raindrops on my camera lens here. Okay, let's stop here for a second. Let me pan back over to this side of the road. Got some pretty big trees down in between these two houses right here. Sorry about my camera work there, but we'll zoom in on there. Again, East Regent Drive, let me zoom in and show you some of these trees that are down between these two houses. So this neighborhood got hit pretty hard, it seems. Looks like we're not seeing structural damage to the houses. I saw that piece of siding or something a moment ago, but boy, look at that tree right there, snapped off right there. We'll zoom in on that. You can see that when you see trees snapped like that, that's often the sign of a tornado or very, very strong straight line winds, but you can see that tree literally got snapped off. And there's a lot more emergency vehicles right up the street from us. Looks like it's going to be harder to get through, but that's a look just to the right of us on East Regent Drive. And now we're going to see what we can do, what we can find further down the street. I can take our other camera, it's got a windshield wiper, of course, and that'll help us basically get rid of some of the raindrops here for a second. Then we can zoom in on some of the other ones here. Alex Libby is going to show us quickly. Alex, you want to show us quickly the debris that you saw on Storm Tracker Radar Network earlier in this neighborhood, Alex?
Yeah, thanks, Davis. Great job out there. So yeah, at 5:29 on our radar, there's debris. I circled it there, and you can see it actually moves into that circle. So it started just to the south of Sango School Road. There's that 5:29 scan, and then it continues moving off to the east. Looks like it dissipates. So yeah, real quick, that's that debris that we talk about. We have all the red, which is rain, and you got the green, which is the debris launched by that likely tornado there in the Sango neighborhood of Clarksville. Danielle?
All right, and Alex, I'm trying to effort a picture too here, but I want to show you what's going on. We're getting rotation tightening right back up in Summitville, so I want to make sure people know this. Again, Manchester, I got a picture from a viewer showing a lowering, and I'm trying to get that efforted so we can get that on air and show you exactly what's going on. But the greens and reds have really tightened up in the latest scans right around Summitville, so this does have me concerned, and I want to make sure we get down and talk about the street level around that area near Morrison. So it's right by Smith Road, McAfee Road, Summitville. This, again, just so everybody's aware, this is over in Coffee County, and then this is moving into Coffee County and Warren County. So this is a rotation. It is right by Ballpark Road, Smith Road. It is right by West Maple Road. This is going to go right over 55 where Morrison is. Let me circle it for you. These greens and reds, when you see them tighten up like that right by Summitville, that's an indication the storm may be trying to strengthen and produce a tornado. I did have a picture of a lowering, and so that made me concerned and makes me want to kind of just track this storm for you a little bit more in depth. Again, this tornado warning in effect till 6:30 for Manchester area, for Coffee County, and for, again, Warren County. Morrison, you would see this at 6:14 in 1 minute. I need you in the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. I need you to do it now. Lawson Mills, 621. McMinnville, 626. Shellsford, 629. Laurelburg, 639. White Hill, 639. Then Spencer would see this at about 6:47. But you see the greens and reds. They're starting to intensify with the storm, and you see the way it's kind of snaggling on down, too. So that, I don't like the look of this as it crosses into the Morrison area. This could be trying to come down to the ground as we speak, and it looks really good. I can't tell on the debris tracker if there's anything there, but if you look at the greens and reds when we put it all together, we are definitely watching this one as it's very tightly wrapped right by Morrison, between Morrison and Summitville. You can see this, there's Summitville. That's heading towards directly Morrison. You need to take your tornado precautions. There's Viola right there. There's Centertown. There's McMinnville. So again, if it heads on this path, it's going through Morrison first and then over to McMinnville. Okay, so that again is a storm. I saw a lowering on this one from a viewer picture. So I want to make sure folks take this one seriously. Again, a tornado warning. It's in effect until 6:30 for Cannon, Coffee, and Warren counties. So we're going to be tracking this storm as well. So we've got this one with the greens and reds that we're watching. We want to make sure we're taking care of people. And then we got this other one here. Now, I will say the one over this way may have broadened out just a touch. Well, it still looks okay around here as we look at it. It's right in here. Let me show you. Right over here, just south of Woodbury, is where the storm is and where that possible rotation and inflow notch would be. It would be right over in here. So again, these storms moving pretty fast. Want to make sure you know where you're going. This is going towards, it'll be in Blue Hill at 629. Lucky, you'll see this at 634. Dibrow, 630, or Dibrow. And then it'll be in Young Bend, 644. Keltonburg, 641. So two storms that are tornado warned and tornado warned for the next 15 minutes. So I want to make sure we watch these storms and track them carefully. I'm going to try to effort some pictures. I know, Shelby, you've got a tour of some things. You want to tell us where things are going?
Yeah, Danielle, so I want to give you a few camera views, and then we're going to go over the radar and all of the warnings that we have right now. But this is at Bradley Parkway and McGavick Pike. So this is not a tornado warned area. This is a severe thunderstorm warned area, but you can still see where that heavy rainfall is coming down. The camera has been shaking because it's so windy out there. And you can also see where the American flag is also waving just so fast. Again, this is not a tornado warned area. Neither is downtown Nashville right now. You can see that that rain is just coming down completely, soaking everything. The skies are just completely dark out there, and lots of lightning. It's following behind these two tornado warned storms. So even if you don't have a tornado warning for your area, please don't be out on the roadways. Please still be conscious and watching, as these storms could still potentially spin up. So as we make our way a little bit farther south, you can see now both of these tornado warned storms have jumped over I-24. They're now getting closer to McMinnville. So the first one is going to be for Cannon, Coffee, and Rutherford County until 6:30. So at least for the next 14 minutes, it's going to be active. The thing that makes me nervous is this hook shape. So we talk about these hooks often, but this is going to be where a lot of these storms are getting their energy, as these energy and the winds are flowing into the storm through that hook. And then we start to see the lightning and that chance for some rotation. So as we, oh my goodness. So as we look at our debris tracker, this is a bit concerning for me. This really bright color of the blue and the greens and the yellows all together, that makes me nervous that there's some debris. Now, if there is debris, that means that there is a tornado on the ground and it's picking things up and throwing it into the atmosphere. And that's how we're seeing it on this camera. So this is south of Woodbury, getting closer to Centertown. Centertown, you need to be in your safe place. So do you, Woodbury. As we get closer to Smithville as well, this is going to continue to make its way to the northeast. It's moving really quickly, and you can still see where that rotation is really serious. So this is going to be getting closer to Blue Hill by 6:22, getting closer to Keltonburg by 6:34, Young Bend by 6:37, Johnson Chapel by 6:43, and it looks like they're potentially updating this where it's going to include other portions of Middle Tennessee. The other tornado warning that we have is for Cannon, Coffee, and Warren County, a little bit farther south. It looks like this is currently completely over McMinnville. McMinnville, be in your safe place right now. This storm also has that same shape. Do you see where they almost look like twins, where they have this hook that's coming down, that's feeding the storm, leading to that chance for some rotation. Now, as we look at the debris tracker here, it's not as evident where that debris potentially is, but again, the one that is going to be just to the southwest of Centertown, I'm still looking at where there's that potential for debris on the ground. Now, where we're seeing rotation is going to be along 55. It looks like this is to the northeast of Summitville, just to the southwest of McMinnville. Again, McMinnville, you need to be in your safe place. This is going to continue to get closer to Shells Ford by 6:26 and to White Hill by 6:34. And then as we look across the rest of Middle Tennessee, those are our only two tornado warnings that are active right now. These are until at least 6:30, but with such tight rotation, I wouldn't be shocked if they extend these to last a little bit longer. And then this line of storms is also making its way over Middle Tennessee right now. So even if you think, oh, I've had a lot of storms today, they are not done just yet. We're seeing lots of lightning, and you can see where the shape of this line of storms is kind of making that bow shape. It's kind of like a sideways U. That means that we are going to be seeing some straight line winds. And again, on that leading edge, there's still that chance for rotation, Danielle.
All right, and thank you so much, Shelby. We're tracking these storms. We've got tornado warnings for another at least 10 minutes. Wouldn't be surprised they reissue them, though, as you were tracking them and showing that there is still rotation with them. We did get a lowering from one of them over in Manchester area.